Talamoana, totally sane Exiles, welcome to another Path of Exile 1 video. Bleed Lacerate Gladiator is super hot right now. If you want to play something with a fresh coat of paint, capable of surviving massive hits, blasting packs with tremendous explosions, viable with a sword and shield, axe and shield, dual wielding either or even a two-handed weapon, and are okay with perhaps dying to some damage over time if you play poorly, then you need to check out Bleed Lacerate Gladiator builds for League Start. Many of you enjoyed my Bleed Lacerate Gladiator League Starter video from a few days ago. I enjoyed making it and love sharing what I'd be League starting with all of you. However, right after I released that video, an avalanche of other Bleed Lacerate Gladiator videos and guides hit the PoE build market. Keeping things transparent and positive, I must say, these versions absolutely smash what I put together. I built a rad tree with the help of some great community members, but these other League Starter videos are real, legit guides, and I still see some of you are asking questions on my own video. I am answering them all, still, but in this video, I'd like to do a brief overview on each of these 4 creators' build guides for Bleed Lacerate Glad and give you the elevator pitch for each so you can decide which you'd like to use. The links to each are below. Just imagine you're in a 5-minute long elevator ride. That does sound horrible, but I'll try my best to make it enjoyable. First, let's talk some Ziz. Without a doubt, this is the best Lacerate Gladiator guide out there for beginners who want the information quick and straight. It's obviously tailored for hardcore, aiming to be incredibly defensive with block and suppression cap almost entirely from the tree alone, but even in a softcore environment, this will perform well and ensure you're able to clear everything with minimal portals lost. The passive tree is easy to follow, with multiple versions for both hardcore and softcore players. The various configs and PoB showcased what mods you should get on your gear. This is vital as it showcases how exactly all the values of the build, like resists, damage, block, etc., can be reached via a combination of gear and the passive skill tree. Also, there's a web version of the build on Maxroll if you like that site layout. Go for Ziz's if you want the info swiftly and prefer referring more to a Path of Building guide rather than a video guide. He and his team did a good job putting it together. Now, onto ronarray. I only recently stumbled upon ronarray thanks to this build guide being shared on Reddit, and I'm glad I did. This version of Lacerate Gladiator is also great for true beginners who would like a longer form discussion about the build, each of its mechanics, and the pros and cons to myriad pieces of this particular archetype. Ronarray's Path of Building is similar to Ziz's, with a focus more so on softcore. Everything is incredibly detailed here, and presently only a very late game version of the build is missing in Path of Building. Where ronarray's guide shines is in the video itself. The video breaks down the mechanics of the build and explains them succinctly, then dives into almost every single scenario you could imagine yourself encountering during the build's progression on League Start. I am not exaggerating. There's at least 40 timestamps here. He tells you what to do if you cannot find one of the core uniques of the early build, where you should get Fortify, what you might need to do to cap spell suppression without a golden oil, and if you cannot stand Lacerate Glad, you can swap over to his equally detailed Cleave of Rage Berserker build. One slight note here, ronarray does not go for War of Attrition ever, which I do think might be good when initially progressing your Atlas and fighting the Maven for the first time. It's a big more multiplier in super extended fights, but speccing out of that Ascendancy node once you're done with those might be smart. I'll stop right there. It's a good guide. This is a great creator. Go support him. Let's talk about me for like 20 seconds now. If you like pure vibes and general discussion of the Gladiator, this particular build, and a janky ever-changing tree, then my video and PoB is the right choice for you. I'll also be starting this build and streaming it live on YouTube and Twitch in hardcore with periodic updates if I survive. That's it. That's my pitch. Now to Kripp. Love Kripp? Love advanced player mechanical discussion? Love loose but powerful build guides? Love tinkering with a build because you're not getting the exact items needed to make the build's passive tree and playstyle work? Well then, this is what you want to follow on League Start. Kripp is a PoE OG, and he long ago retired from making official build guides and videos for the game. Instead, he does what I kinda do, but he is far more experienced, mechanically minded, and deliberate in his explanation of expert game systems and build philosophies when talking off the cuff. The build is seriously impressive and will likely massively succeed. Be warned though, the Path of Building is dangerous. Lots of the gear will be quite expensive to buy and difficult to find. The stats are a bit inflated, and while the damage looks very impressive, it'll be tough to attain in a League Start scenario, especially if you are in an SSF environment, let alone a hardcore one like me. Plus, there's only one tree here. Following Kripp's build is truly only for veteran PoE players who are confident in their build-making abilities. Honorable mention to Goratha, who is going hard and threw out a bleed gladiator based on Eviscerate, one of the new retaliation skills. It's a gamble of a build, but if you want something wild and not Lacerate, check it out below. Now, hit the like button if you liked the video, please subscribe to the channel for more jam-packed PoE 1 and PoE 2 content, and I'll see you in the next one. Salakura, totally sane Exiles.